What is going on, nation? It is your boy Seaton, coach of your Lehigh Valley Phantoms, bringing you week 2 of the PWC against the Sale Sharpedos, coached by Savage Sniper. Um, if you want to know about the team that we brought into this game, I'll have a link to our team builder down below. In addition, if you would like to see Sniper's point of view from this battle, I'll have a link to his YouTube channel down below as well. Make sure you check him out. He's a really nice guy, really great battler. But anyway, let's get into the team matchup real quick. It's again in the team builder we went over what we expected, and I expected pretty much anything that have a possibility of coming. But anyway, looking at this team, it looks like it is going to be a Scarf, Heliolisk, probably Dragon Dance, Late Sweep, Flagon, Cell Rock, Stone Edge, maybe Stealth Rocks on Lycanroc, maybe Stealth Rocks on Kieran Black, and then Venusaur. We don't know what kind of Sylveon it is yet because it could either be like a Specs variant or a support variant. Either way, I have my checks for that. But anyway, going into it, I'm hoping he leads off with his Skarmory so I can go through with my early game plan. So I'm just going to lead with my Kyurem right off the bat. And he decides to lead with his alternate lead, the Lycanroc Day. Hindsight, probably should have saw this coming, but if he is a Life Orb Lycanroc, he can knock me out with a Stone Edge turn 1, so that's not something I'm really willing to risk yet. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Silvally, because I can wall this thing even with no defense investment. He just gets up his rocks, so that leads me to believe that he is some sort of Sash lead, Suicide lead kind of deal. And I didn't take advantage of that, but hey, I don't think it was worth it personally. But he switches out into his Venusaur, and I'm just going to do what Silvally does and Parting Shot out. Go right into my Tornadus Theory. Oh no, I go into my Kieran Black to throw off a nice Ice Beam, go through that thick fat, and then 2-hit KO it. He switches into a Sylveon. I get off a nice 25%, and he reveals that he is Leftovers. This turn here, sorry for pausing it, I always do this, but I make a sort of misplay. I was talking to him after the match, but I click Ice Beam again, trying to bluff the dumb Choice Scarf, anticipating him to click Protect to get more Leftovers recovery, and also just scout out what I was going to do. He told me that he anticipated me doing this afterwards, so he just clicks Hyper Voice, and down goes my Kyurem on turn 4. I actually live commed this battle, and like I was so shook by this play. Like 8 turns later, I was still like, man, I can't believe he hyper voiced that Kyurem, because an Iron Head would have very easily taken him out at that point, even if he was max defense. And he wasn't Babiri Berry, he was Leftovers. But anyway, regardless, next turn, go into my Tornadus Theory, and I'm just gonna click Sludge Bomb. He has his Skarmory, but I don't care, like, because this turn I just click Heat Wave, and Heat Wave is gonna do a ton. It does 64, and he tries to roost it off. So I'm doing about 64. He's recovering about 56. I'm gonna end up winning this war. He switches out though into his Flagon. Get a little nice chip damage off of that, but I'm going for a U-turn, and he actually reveals to be Choice Scarf to this turn, which is really interesting, because if he had gone for like a Dragon Claw, he could have knocked me out. Obviously, I would have had a clean switch into my Silvally then afterwards, but still, got early intel that this thing is Choice Scarf, so I'm a little bit less afraid of it, knowing that my Ninetales will beat it 100 times out of 100. But I got a slow U-turn off now, which is even more beneficial for me, because I can get my Silvally back in against this Sylveon. This turn, I believe I go for a Heal Block, anticipating him to go for a Wish or kind of start supporting, and I catch the Venusaur on the switch in, and I'm going to do what Silvally does, and Parting Shot out. He goes for a Leech Seed, I believe, on this turn, which will catch my Tornadus. But I immediately threaten this mon out, so I'm going to go for a U-turn, get rid of these seeds, get my Regenerator back up, and he goes into his Flygon. So that's really beneficial for me. I get a crit. Long term, I don't think it really mattered, because like I said, my Ninetales takes it on 100 times out of 100. But here, I see no reason for myself not to click Blizzard. He doesn't really have a good Blizzard switch in. And he goes out into his Sylveon, which is a really good play because Sylveon doesn't have that much use against me. The only thing that it's really going to be hitting is Lanoon, but Lanoon can take it out with E-Speed. And Jolteon obviously outspeeds and takes it out. So he's going to sack this thing off. I do a clean 28%, which is a really high roll, actually. And then the second one's going to knock it out. He gets up a Smart Wish, basically making this turn redundant for me. So I'm not going to stay in, because if I click Blizzard, I'm not going to do a whole lot. I think it's going to be right back at full. So I'm going to make a hard switch out. Go into my Silvally Steel. And now Parting Shot out. Again, trying to find out if this Venusaur has Earthquake to try to catch this thing, because this was a pretty obvious Silvally Steel. Someone switched into my Tornadus trying to catch that, and he goes for a Giga Drain. Gets a crit again. Crit's pretty redundant long term because I'm just going to get my generator back. So yeah, I mean, he's still at full, which is kind of annoying. I'm just clicking Hurricane because his Hurricane switch in is Skarmory, which loses to Heat Wave, and Heliolisk, which he would need to click Thunderbolt to take me out, and I have a Jolteon in the back, so he wouldn't risk that. And I can get off big damage on it the following turn. He goes into his Skarmory. Takes pretty much nothing, but now I'm just going to spam Heat Waves. We click Roosts a couple times, and I think he realizes that this is a losing battle. I end up catching a burn here, and he goes for a Brave Bird and takes himself out with Recoil. So the burn didn't matter. Well, I guess for some chip damage it mattered. But he goes into his Lycanroc. I'm ready for the Accelerock, so I'm just going to make a hard switch, get Regenerator health back again, and go into my Silvally, which is literally just sitting here. Earlier, we talked about how I thought this was going to be a Sash Mon, so I was expecting him to switch out to preserve his Sash at this point, because it'll be really beneficial against my Scarf Ninetales, which I'm assuming he knows his Scarf at this point based off of the Flygon play. Like, I went hard into Ninetales on that Flygon. So I click Pursuit on this play to break a potential Sash. He stays in. I get off a nice 16%, but in my mind, Pursuit plus Iron Head pretty much guaranteed a knockout on this thing. Click Stone Edge, does nice 23%, and I click Iron Head, and I get a super low roll. Like, again, this doesn't really matter long term because Silvally is going to end up getting sacked to the next Pokemon anyway. But I take it out with a Pursuit in case he wanted to switch out. I really liked the taunt tech on his part though, because my Silvally parting shotting around was going to be really annoying for him to deal with long term. But anyway, he comes into his Heliolisk, gets a nice easy revenge kill with Hyper Voice. In my brain, I was like, okay, this is definitely a Scarf Heliolisk. I'm just going to set up my Belly Drum and clean up late game. It turns out he was actually Specs Heliolisk, and he nearly knocked me out. It was like a 90% roll in my favor to live, but the fact that I didn't really think that through was pretty scary. But now Lanoon is going to come in and just click Extreme Speed. The roll here didn't really matter. He sent me the spread after the game, and I think I had like a non-existent, I think it was like a 2% chance or something like that to knock it out. So that had pretty much no impact. But it did. Lanoon is doing exactly what it needed to do. Brought Venusaur the annoyance down. And now I'm just going to bring in Scarf Ninetales, and Scarf Ninetales is going to click Blizzard twice and clean up this game. Really good game to Sniper. Sorry I jumped ahead, but like kind of alluded to this earlier on in the battle. But a really, really good game to Sniper. Really cool prep on his part. I wasn't expecting the Spadef Skarmory. That kind of caught me off guard. In addition, the taunt lead Lycanroc was really, really solid to bring on his part, because if I didn't have Extreme Speed, rock coverage will run through my team. And I didn't necessarily bring Rock Resist other than Silvally, which Silvally was necessary to stop Venusaur, Sylveon, Lycanroc, and Skarmory, sort of. But yeah, really good game to Sniper. So that brings us to 2-0, and I think it's a +5 differential, I think it is. And next week we will be playing Joel, coach of the Philadelphia Fanfies. So we got a interstate rivalry match coming up. So until next time, peace out, guys.